Welcome to this episode of Fast Radio.
Today's episode of Fast Radio is brought to you by One Life. One Life is a pending nonprofit that believes if you teach a man how to fish, he can feed himself for a lifetime. At One Life, resources and finances come together and are used to help people from all over the world to start small businesses. These small businesses will help not only themselves, but others as well. If you would like to get more information about One Life, check out current projects, or join in on one of the many mission trips, please visit jameslyke.com/onelife. That's jameslyke.com/onelife. One life to live, one life to make a difference. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about this quote that I came across this past week that really came to me at a great time. It was an awesome quote that I was able to share with my team. And I was already able to share it with a friend who was going through some things that really needed to hear this. And so I'm going to go ahead and share that with you today, and we're going to dive right in here on Fast Friday. Here's that quote. "You are not tired. You are uninspired." You are not tired. You are uninspired. What a powerful phrase. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time that you were consistently tired? When was the last time that you were burned out? Like business and the problems that come with business, or the challenges that come with business, or just the busyness that comes with business. When were you at a point where you were so tired that you just felt like throwing in the towel, felt like giving up, and just exhausted, or as one person would say, I was sick and tired of it? When was the last time that you were burned out? You see, I would challenge you that in that time, in that period of burnout, that you weren't really tired, but you had lost your inspiration. I've never really looked at it this way before until I seen that quote. And I really started thinking back to 2018. From about March of 2018 up until about September, October, about 1 year ago now, I was going through some of the worst burnout that I've ever experienced. I wasn't going to quit the real estate business. I was continuing to push on, but I kind of lost my zeal. I kind of lost my passion, if you will, my inspiration. And I was tired. I felt like I wasn't getting good enough rest, even though I was sleeping 8 hours a day. It was tough. I was exhausted. I was mentally and physically drained, and definitely emotionally drained. But it was when I found my inspiration, when I tapped into my big why and reminded myself of that big why, is when I came out of that fatigue, that tiredness. You see, your big why, whatever it is that you're chasing after in your life, your big why, for me, I've shared with you guys before that my big why is to be remembered. And in order for me to be remembered, I have to make a difference in the lives of others. That is, to me, fulfilling it. Not only in my wife and her life, not only in my kids' lives, but in my friends and my family and people I haven't even had the opportunity to meet yet that are from different places all over the world. Like, I have to constantly be blessing others with my blessing because I'm blessed. That is my mission statement. And if I'm not fulfilling that, and I'm lost like I was a year ago in mundane tasks, plowing the field and going straight ahead and working hard and exhausted, but yet having taken my eyes off the prize, off the big why, I became super exhausted. And I lost my inspiration. Last week we talked about rest. And if you haven't listened to that episode, you need to go back and listen to that episode. It was awesome. Everybody needs to rest. Everybody must take time to rest. Matter of fact, rest should be regular. Your rest should be regular. It should be daily. You know, I listen to these Instagram entrepreneur gurus, and I hear them talking about this whole hustle and grind, and I'm going to wake up, rise and grind, and all this stuff. Listen, it's all great talk, but the body requires 7 to 8 hours worth of sleep every single day. If you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, Eventually, it's going to catch up with you. I don't care who you are. You're not Superman. 4 hours a night over a 20-year period is not going to cut it. Don't fall into the trap of, I'm going to rise and grind, or I'm going to grind and like glorify in grinding so much that you become burnout or you become tired. Rest should be regular. Rest also should be weekly. In the Bible, it talks about taking a seventh day off, taking a Sabbath off. And I believe that not only is that biblical, but that is also for health reasons. You cannot continue at 365-day pace. There's some guys that are trying to prove that wrong, but they rest. I promise you, they take off. No matter what they say, those guys are taking off and resting at some point, and you should too. Sunday's my rest day. We go to church. We have lunch as a family. Right now, it's football season, so I'm watching football all stinking day long, and I don't feel guilty about it. I take my seventh day of rest. And so rest should be regular, rest should be weekly, but rest should also be quality. Should have quality rest, good deep sleep, good 7-8 hours a night, no caffeine a few hours before bedtime, all of those. So if you're getting that kind of rest and all of these qualities of rest, these three that I just shared with you and any other ones, if all of these are in good standing and you're still exhausted, I have to challenge you today that maybe you've lost your inspiration. Maybe you've lost sight of the prize and your big why. So how do we get back on task? How do we get our inspiration back? How do we remind ourselves of the goal? Number one, you write it down, you make it plain, and you chase the vision, you chase the goal, you chase the inspiration. Whatever it is that inspires you, whatever your big why is, you put it large and somewhere that you look at that every single day. And you begin to think about that every single day. How do we gain our inspiration back? We quit focusing on the things that are burning us out and we start focusing on what the future has to hold. We start planting good seeds so that we can reap a good harvest to come. How do we stay turned on to the purpose? We keep the purpose at the forefront of our mind. Is what we're doing right now going to get me to fulfill my purpose? Is what I'm doing right now going to contribute to my big why? If it's not, I would challenge you today to take a look at those things. That's probably why you're tired. You're probably tired. You're probably burned out because you've lost your inspiration. It's time to get the inspiration back. It's time to plug into whatever it was that gave you the motivation to get up and go the very first time that you set out on this journey that you call entrepreneurship or business or working a job. Find your inspiration and work with passion. Until next time, I want to thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for sharing it, and I'll see you next Friday. Thank you for listening to Fast Radio. If today's episode brought you value, please take a moment and leave us a review on Facebook, Stitcher, iTunes, or wherever it is that you're listening today. The more reviews, the better position we have to make a difference in others' lives. Until next time, much freedom and much success. Have a great weekend.